It's day 338. Today, we're still waiting to hear back, or we did hear back from our email provider, but they're asking for more information. So we of course replied with that, and still waiting to hear back. But they replied very quickly, so I think we'll hear back tomorrow, and I think it'll be good news, and we'll be reinstated. But there is a good and a bad with that, because we had kind of a breakthrough today, which is a good thing. But it actually happened like Sunday or Monday. I just was not really paying attention, which I should have been. But we had a separate campaign running, which was the one-on-one outreach, which I think I briefly spoke about. But it was just more tailored to be one-on-one and feel like conversational and less like a newsletter. And we had that going to about 1,000 leads. And Sunday was the day they received the launch email, and Sunday we also saw a pretty big spike in sales. Nothing crazy, but between Sunday and Monday combined, I think we did like $500, or like 15 to 20 sales. So, and I originally thought it was because we sent to our old group 14,000 people, but I mean, that wouldn't really have made sense. It's like, why would a bunch of them all of a sudden buy? I mean, maybe a few of them did, but I think overall, because we had a ton of sessions that day too, I was like, why the hell are our sessions so high? It's like people don't click our emails. And then it finally clicked today. I was like, I looked at I wasn't really monitoring that because that was something on the side that we were doing. And I was mainly focused on the main newsletter outreach marketing, and I'd forgotten about it kind of. And I looked at it today and I was like, holy shit, like we sent the sales email out on Sunday or whatever, and that was the day that we had like 1,000 sessions, you know what I mean? So it definitely made a big impact. And so what I did today, I fired 3,000 more leads, and so in about 5 days or so, we should see a big spike from that. And honestly, that might be the best strategy or approach for us moving forward. The only problem is it's like hard to scale because it's one-on-one, so we can only send about 50 emails per inbox, per email account, and we only have like 65 right now, and each of them costs like $5 a month. So it is kind of expensive. And like I said, our sequence takes about 5 days. So we can realistically do 5 sequences a month, maybe 6. I guess we could do 6, but it would be tight. And we could do a maximum of 3,000 at a time. So that would be 15 to 18,000 leads a month. But like I said, we converted at like maybe close to 2%, which is honestly pretty good for cold email, especially what we're doing. It seemed like we resonated well, and we had a ton of sessions, which, like I was saying previously, is like one of our biggest gaps is we don't have people clicking the link, but this time we did. So if we had 18,000 people, send it to each month, which we could do, and we're gonna do that this month 100%. And we converted 2% of them, which is ambitious, but I think it's in line with what we did with this initial batch. What is that? 360 sales times $30 is close to $10,000. So we might be in a better position now. We might have had a little breakthrough, but I mean, time will tell. But I mean, it's definitely solid. It's definitely solid. Just considering we only used 1,000 leads, and we converted that much. So obviously I wish I could tell exactly how many sales we got from that campaign specifically, but since we just route all the traffic to one offer, it's kind of hard to tell. But that explains the spike 100%, so has to be it. And I remember too, when we were testing the smaller batches, like 250 leads, I think we did like 2 or 3 sales from those batches, which lines up with our conversion rate. So that's definitely a good vertical, and it definitely can be scaled. Two, it's just more of a bitch to scale because we have to get, like I said, we have to get one inbox for every 50 emails per day. So, if we wanted to send 100,000 emails a month, that's 5 batches of 20,000, which means we need 200 inboxes sending 50 emails a day. Or, no, 400 inboxes, which would be like $2,000 a month. But then again, if we were sending 100,000 or contacting 100,000 leads per month, we'll probably convert around 1 to 2% of them, which would be like, anywhere from 30 to 60,000. But that's very, very ambitious. But at the same time, it covers the $2,000 a month cost, and it is very, very hands off and kind of automated, which is nice. We just send leads, we just set up the campaign, start it, and it's hands off. Now, obviously, you want to iterate and improve each time, but yeah, I mean, that seemed to be really solid. I'm pretty stoked on that, and I think it has a lot more potential. I just wish we hadn't sent so many emails with our old strategy, because we've probably sent to like 80,000 people, which is like a lot. We only had 100,000, so we've used the majority of our leads, and we probably can't send to them again on a different interface because it would kind of break the trust and it would be kind of weird. So, but yeah, it was a good breakthrough moment, I guess. We'll see how it goes, especially with this new batch, since I'm upping it by 3 times. So hopefully we see a 3x in sales. Hopefully we do about 1,000 in about 5 days. We'll see. And then in the meantime, we'll get that other account back, start sending to them again, and yeah, come back stronger and stronger. But I did a little bit of a think tank today on just what I wanted to do, and moving forward. I do want to create a software company, and I was thinking about my leads that I have for the students, and I was going to make an ebook for them and an info product for them. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, why not just make a simple SaaS agency, software as a service, that I could create probably in the same amount of time as I could create like a really good info product. Like, it would probably take about a month for both. So it's like I would be a lot more proud of a software company, and it would have a lot more potential, and it just integrates better into what I want to do ultimately, which is create a bigger overarching software company. So I'm leaning towards creating a mini SaaS, not super mini. It would definitely be valuable, but just for the meantime, and it would be a good entry point too, to just get my feet wet in the software world and creating a software as a service, because I've never done that. And I think it would be challenging 100%, but I've done coding tasks. I've built scrapers and websites and stuff like that. So I think I have the skills to get it done. And it would be an interesting challenge, and I think it would have a lot of upside in terms of revenue, because it's like, what I mean? I don't have to worry about the marketing so much, because I have a solid marketing play for these leads. Like, I know what works to them. I've sent to them before. I've had excellent metrics. So I know I can drive traffic from these leads to my offer. It's like, why not just make a better offer? Why not just make a software? And for the software, I was thinking, there's a couple ideas that come to mind, but the main one I'm thinking about doing is software that applies to like hundreds of job openings for you, automatically, and it custom tailors your application based on the job description, or based on what it's asking for, through AI, which would be relatively easy to integrate. And I think that especially has a highly relevant, targeting towards the leads that I have, because, essentially they're asking for job opportunities, that's why they're providing their emails. So it's like, I'm giving them a tool to where they can apply to hundreds, if not thousands, of job openings all across the country, whether they want remote or tailored to where they live. But I think it has massive potential. But that's one of the ideas I have. I'm not gonna pounce on that right away. I mean, it already exists too. It's not groundbreaking or anything. There are software companies that do that already. I'm not sure how good, but they don't have the leads that I have, and I think I could turn it into something, decent. And it's like I said, like from what I know now and the email metrics that I had sending to this audience before, I could probably convert around 1% of them, 1 to 2%. So, like, would I rather convert 1% of them on a $20, $30, $50 info product, one time fee that may not even convert that high because, like I said, I don't have trust, I don't have credibility? Or would I rather have 1% convert on a software product that has reoccurring income, that is inherently valuable, that's easy to sell, and actually provides like tangible value? Like, they'll see the replies from the job agencies or whatever, and they'll see the live application sending, and they'll see it all work. And I would much rather have the software company. You know what I mean? It's like I have 100,000 leads. I have more than that, but like, let's say with that, I convert 1% of them. That's 1,000 users at my software company. I haven't determined a price yet, but anywhere from like $20 to $50 a month. It's like boom, $20 to $50,000 a month in reoccurring revenue. Although I predict my churn rate, meaning the amount of people that stay on month after month, would be relatively high. So I would lose a lot of people each month, but that's kind of how it works when you're, especially in the job field, because if it was a good software company, they would be getting jobs and they would cancel the membership. I might throw that in there in the landing page. I might be like, people don't stay for longer than a month. Like, I don't know, something like that. But like, it works. It'd be kind of funny, but yeah, I'm leaning towards creating a software company for this, and it would be kind of like a challenge. It'd be like a 30-day sprint, and it might take longer than that because I wouldn't want to ship something that was completely garbage. But it would be a good challenge. I would so much rather work on a software company than another info product or another course or another ebook. Like, just don't speak to me anymore. And yeah, I think it's a good use of my time, and I think it has a lot of application for what I want to be doing. So I might be moving towards that, but it's definitely not going to happen overnight. There's a lot of moving pieces, especially for the idea that I described, that I would have to fulfill, and this would all be done by me. And I'm not someone who is proficient in coding. I'm not a software engineer. I literally just learned through YouTube and AI, and AI writes 90% of it. So I'm in no way skilled, but I built a really good scraper, scraping TikTok APIs, and I knew nothing about it before, and now I have like a really solid scraper that's on par. I think it would be like a developer would charge like $5,000 for something that I built. So I think I have the skills to do it, and it would be interesting to see how it played out. So yeah, that's been on my mind today. That's what I worked on today, and really does it for me. I'll see you all tomorrow.